101.9. That's on your radio dial. It's Friday. I can't believe it's Friday again. For some of us, it's thank God it's Friday. For others, it's oh my gosh, it's Friday. And for me, it is Friday. Friday is a special day, I think, because at the end of the day, it's the end. If weekend starts on Friday, where everybody can party. Works ends on Friday, so it's about that relaxation time. Friday is a good Friday. I think that's what it is. You're in tune to Your Views. Your Views is a program that is here on Win FM every Friday morning around 10 o'clock. Your host is always me, Sandra Quilly-Atherton. Sometimes I would have a guest. Other times I would talk my mind and I would hear your views. And that's basically what the program is about. We try our best to make sure that what we do here are factual and we don't go based on assumption. Sometimes you can talk about how you feel, because feeling is a good thing, and expressing your feeling is a better thing. Sometimes we have to learn to express ourselves and make sure that we are not muted, because that can pose some problems. All of our voices are equal. No man is greater than the other. We are all created the same way, and we all have the Almighty, the I Am within us. And so therefore, knowing this, you know that if you have just enough understanding and belief, you can move mountains. And so it doesn't matter about status quo. People might have the title, but at the end of the day, we are all humans. We suffer the same things. Pain is the same way. Death comes the same way. It doesn't matter how much money you are that doesn't define you, because there are a lot of people before they became members of where they are or have the position that they would have had. They had no control over the way they were raised. Most of them were raised, they would tell you, mother struggling, single parent home, and they were raised and they found themselves in a position. And it is sad that when we reach at the top of the ladder, we kick it down, or we try to, because we don't want anybody to achieve what you would have achieved and find yourself in the same status, because that defines equality, status quo. So if you're honorable this or Mr. that, or miss this or deem that, then that is what makes you more mighty, as others would think. That is people who are naive and who are still living in the dark ages would recognize that position makes you who you are. As Rihanna would says, I do not have a college degree, but I have $1.7 billion. So a college degree doesn't make you who you are. I don't think the Right Honorable R.L. Bradshaw had a college degree, but he was the premier of St. Kitts and Nevis, and he reigned for a very long time. So it's not education that makes you, it's the fact that we are all created as intelligent beings, and from there on, we decide how far we are going. At the end of the day, your destination is decided by you. Your journey is accompanied by you and yourself alone, and you have to make it. It is you who make it happen, not other people. But it is sad when other people contribute and they are taken for granted. After the election, I decided I was not going to talk about politics. I have had enough of politicians, not politics, because politics is a must, but I have had enough of politicians and supporters. I find here in St. Kitts and Nevis, we operate in a vacuum. We have tunnel vision. We can only see, and sometimes some of us can't, even to the tip of our nose. And it is a problem for me. But there's sometimes you have to talk, because it not only bothers you, but it affects you. It affects your growth. It affects your children's future, your grandchildren's future, and it affects the standard of living that you work hard so that at the end of the day you can enjoy. And so sometimes you definitely have to talk. There are lots of situations happening in St. Kitts and Nevis. But I'm going to say it, the government is new, and I suppose you have to give them time. But for me, when you were making plans to form the government, you should have had a plan, because planning is very important. If I am going to fight or advocate for anything, I have to have a plan. And so therefore, when I hit the ground, I am going to hit the ground running. But I think I'm talking to the electorate here, because I don't talk to politicians. I talk to the electorate here, who are the ones who suffers, because at the end of the day, government can only employ a very small number of people in big positions paying big money. And so the small person who has the loudest voice, you are the one who suffers in the end. And it goes for every political party that would have ruled St. Kitts and Nevis and the world at large. So it's not just us, it's not unique to us. And so, therefore, we have to be very careful what we do at the polls. There's a situation in Nevis Brewing, sad, disrespectful for me, to the people who would have voted for candidates. You come under one umbrella, people vote for you, and then you decide on your own that you don't want to be here, you want to be elsewhere, and you can take the people's vote and carry it elsewhere. It is not right. That cannot be right. But again, that is up for the politicians to work out their sums, their maths, and it is not for me to do, and it's for the people to make a decision. And this is why I said that we have to be very careful as the electorate about what people say to us as politicians. You know, I listened, and I am in awe still. I love to sit and listen. My best time is spent with myself. I get a lot of time to think, and not just think, but position myself to where I want to be. Of course, we're all going to have challenges, but challenges is what we decide. Because for me, in life is a journey. And just like if you're going to take a walk from here at WIN Studio to the top of the street by the traffic lights, you're going to pass the courthouse on the way. On the left side, there is the square. And then if you go further up, you have little areas that you have to the Catholic Church. These are on that path, and sometimes based on the path that you're on, you have things that are there, but you have to know, I'm not going to walk through the Catholic Church, I'm going to continue on the clear path. And you have to know when to walk on the clear path and when you decide you want to investigate some. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We have to make the decisions. I listened to the critics when Unity was in power. Oh, I was taken to task. And I'm laughing because it's so funny that it is the same people who had so much to say, they are in the same position. Of course, it comes down to that. People are going to fight so that they can benefit. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. So that is one of the reasons why I always tell people, I love the scripture in the Bible. I don't read it. I don't frequent it too often, but there's some things in there, there's certain scriptures that stick with me. When Jesus said to the people who wanted to crucify the woman who they said was a prostitute, he said, "Ye that has no sin, cast the first stone." And I listened to all of the sinners and the people who would have committed worse, and they're the ones who are trying to crucify. It's hilarious. Sometimes I just have to laugh. Honesty is the best policy. It's a quote. It's not a reality. It is not. It is a quotation that is very difficult to realize, because it is power, and people they would sell their mother just to get money and power. It is the reality of it. And so, because we are all sinful, and we have all committed all of the same sins that are being committed now and were committed then, we just need to shut up and enjoy the ride. I think that's what it is. I don't listen to talk shows, really and truly. So if anybody doesn't want to listen to me, I understand. I don't listen to these radio programs most of the time, because it's just sickens me when I hear people who are intelligent beings, not educated, intelligent beings, can say the dumbest things, and you wonder, Why? But now, why would you wonder? It's only for one thing and one thing only, an opportunity. Because, of course, everybody has to be fearful. When the government gets into power and you supported an opposition, the party that was there before, and they get in, you are going to be the first that they come to get. It is normal. Why? I wonder. And then you think that you're giving intelligent people a chance to go in and run a country. But these people, their modus operandi is to blame